Story time. When I was young, my only dream was to find buried treasure. I even dug up my mom's backyard as a kid and got my ass whooped. Now that I'm grown, I can live out my fantasy. I decided to buy a metal detector. I bought the whole shebang. My trusty baby digger. You had to have a pinpointer. A mini shovel that I love so much. Some headphones so I can hear when I find my booty. And of course, my beautiful metal detector. Since we stuck inside, I said, why not do some detecting around my own house for fun? First, I roamed around in my backyard to see if my detector worked. Oh, it's working. After spending an hour searching and finding nothing but a few coins and a water hose pipe, I realized that the only thing original on my property was the old tree in the front. Well, I focused on that damn tree and my metal detector started going crazy. I started to dig vigorously around that tree. Then I hit something. I pulled out my baby digger and did more detailed digging. I saw the top of what looked like a golden can. It looked old. I didn't know what it was. Maybe it's a time capsule from the people who used to own the property. I used every muscle in my body to try to get it open, but it wouldn't budge. I smashed it against the tree. I felt it loosen, and when it finally opened, you'll never guess what was inside.
Things only 1% of people can do. I don't even know what part it is anymore. I got this one. Only 1% of people are able to touch their tongue on their nose. And I've been practicing. Check it out. Not even close. Can you do it? Not even close. Damn, we not in the 1%. Yo.
Recap. I went on a treasure hunt and found a gold time capsule buried near my old tree. The time capsule contained 4 items. An old red sealed $2 bill, a small paper with writing on it, a miniature king and queen, and what looked like a letter, but it was written in all numbers. I spent the rest of the day trying to make up my own story for what I found. And then I kept noticing at the bottom of the paper it read, remember, A equals 1.
Maybe it's Morse code.
Nah, this is different. I said, it's a long shot, but what the hell? I matched each letter of the alphabet with the numbers 1 through 26 in chronological order. It worked. It took some time, but I was able to decipher the letter. Dear Reba, our family feud landed you far away from me. If you ever make it back to sunny California, then it's promised you found this letter waiting for you under the first place we kissed. I left something special for you buried in the woods, where we first shared each other's bodies and souls. Why do we live in such a cruel world, where the hearts are always challenged? Love always, Richard. I just dug up the story of torn lovers. Now the smaller piece of paper makes sense. Woodley Park must be the woods he spoke about in the letter. As a long shot, I entered these numbers as coordinates, and I'll be damned. I'm gonna find what's buried in the woods.
Your boy Trump just fucked with my head. Now every time I hear certain songs, I hear this clown's voice.
China.
Shorty like $1,000 play fight.
China. Story time, part 3. The other day I found a letter written in numbers under my old tree. After decoding the letter, I realized it was a love story. They left an address to some woods with more buried treasure. I packed my metal detector, grabbed a few homies, and we drove to the coordinates. Now over time, access to these woods must have been denied because there was a fence blocking the entry. After climbing through the hole in the fence and going down this shady path, we finally reached the area on the map. We searched for about an hour and then the metal detector went crazy. This has to be the spot where the lovebirds used to meet. So we began digging. It was hot as hell. Eventually, we hit something hard about a foot down. Just like last time, I dug it out. It was a small green and black box with 2 pins coming out each side. There was no way to open the box. We had to be careful not to break it. It could be worth a lot of money, or we could ruin what's inside. I said, let me check the hole one more time for a key. Although there was no key, I shuffled through the hole and I found an old piece of paper that read, push the proper pin or the box locks forever. Wow, that's a lot of pressure and I can't screw this up. So I'm gonna leave it up to y'all. Leave a comment and let me know which side I should pick.
Hey, yo, what you doing?
Ordering some food online, about to get me some cereal.
Okay.
Yep, let me get these Fruit Loops real quick.
Wait, hold on. How you do
Yo,
that?
hold on, let me get some water, dog. Shoot, let me get this water real quick.
Yo, come on, how you do
Hold
that?
on, can I pay the dude?
Wait, give me that, man. No.
Story time, part 4. We followed some coordinates which led to some woods which led to a hunt where we found an old box. Also in the hole there was a note that read, push the wrong pin and this box locks forever. Due to the enormous amount of pressure, I decided I'm going to leave this decision up to my fans. Everyone was commenting go green. What the hell, let's go green. Still a bit fearful of the outcome, I began to push the green pin. Will it explode? Will it pop in my face? And of course, what's inside the box? After a few seconds of pushing the green pin, I heard what sounded like gears moving inside of the box. Then I heard a click. The box unlocked. I immediately opened the lid and saw 2 empty slots.
What the hell?
Stuck to the lid, there was some writing. To my queen, from your king. But there was nothing in the box. This guy's cheap. Frustrated that I went through all of this for nothing, I set the box near all the items that I found earlier. Then I saw it. Why didn't I think of this before? The empty slots were the same size as the king and queen that were in the capsule. I carefully placed the king and queen into the slots and then I heard a click. Oh my God. The bottom of the box just opened. What a beautiful day in the neighborhood. The weather's perfect. I even saw 2 squirrels fall in love. Everybody remembers the ice cream truck. Comes down your block playing those memorable jingles and sometimes even that racist remix. Blasting the music this time was a car and he claimed he was selling nuts.
Peanuts? Is that a lucrative business?
You'd be surprised.
I told him I'm allergic to nuts.
I'm allergic to peanuts.
Then he tried to upsell me.
I also have nutmeg.
He said he had the nuts in his car. I didn't believe that shit.
Liar.
I went to open the passenger side door, and to my surprise, the car exploded with nuts. I was wrong. He did sell nuts. I was embarrassed by my actions because I ruined half of his inventory. He sped off. Who is this mystery nut crusader? I had to know his name.
What's your name?
Nutman.
Nutman, a hard-shelled hero. Keep changing the world, one nut at a time. Story time, the finale. I found an old box that came in two colors, one black and one green, and was left by true lovers. I was confused on which side to open. The fans said go green, so I followed their notion. After inserting a king and a queen, the bottom popped open and there lied a ring. I wondered about love and how much they hurt, but what's even worse? My biggest concern was, man, how much is this ring worth? Damn, it's joint nice.
Did you know that, part one? Did you know that the colors red, orange, and yellow give you an appetite? Makes you hungry. And the color red triggers the emotion for passion, which means if you see the colors yellow and red together, you'll be passionately hungry. That's why many of your favorite brands, restaurants, and fast food chains use those very colors in their logos, banners, and signs. Did you know that, part two? Did you know that the longest place name has 85 characters and is located in New Zealand? I'm gonna try to pronounce one. Tayumatu afakai, tangai hangai kawau, ata omatu apakai, awente akata, atahu. If anybody knows how to pronounce that, you're a beast.
Tangai hangai kawaii, ayuta mati apoka ai, when you a kaiten.
That didn't sound right either.
Story time. So I'm in my bed sleep, then I heard a bump. At first I ignored it, then I heard it again. The commotion was coming from the guest bedroom. I immediately hopped up and decided to investigate. I grabbed my bat and proceeded down the hallway, and the noises got louder.
Yo, you in there? I got a bat.
I bust in the room like a psycho. I checked behind the bed and in the closet, but nobody was there. I looked over and noticed all the dresser drawers were open. What the hell? The windows are locked and there's no way in and out of this room. Am I losing my mind? I had to prove to myself I wasn't crazy. So later that night, I ordered some ghost hunting equipment. 2 days later, my ghost hunting equipment showed up. I immediately went to install it in the guest bedroom. It came with a meter that you wear on your hip, so if something happens, I'll know right away. I went to bed that night with my bat in my hand and waited for my ghost meter to go off. Oh shit.
Throw this pool in the water, and someone has to jump in the water and land in this pool without landing in the big pool.
Hips tick tock when I dance. On that demon time, she might start her OnlyFans. B stand for bands. If you wanna see some real ass, baby, here's your chance. I say, drop it low and swing. Texas up in this thing, put you up on this game. I be popping my gang, 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 gang. If you don't jump to put jeans on, baby, you don't feel my pain. Please don't give me hype. Write my name.
You gotta catch the bottle in the air, then land in the baby pool.
I pull up in my two-seater and my mama was a savage. Nigga got this shit from Tina, I'm a savage. Yeah, classy, bougie, ratchet.
Talking about.
Story time, part 2. I investigated noises coming from my guest bedroom, only to find that no one was there. I bought a ghost meter to make sure I wasn't crazy. I'll be damned. It went off. I crept down the hall again, but this time it was different. The ghost meter proved that something was in the room. This is my house. I came in aggressive. No one was there, but all the drawers were open again. When I looked over to the bed, I noticed all of my favorite socks. They spelled out, ha ha. Oh, this motherfucker got jokes.
You wanna play? We can all play. I know you ain't.
Yeah, I read somewhere that the human eye can't see paranormal activity, but a camera can. So I grabbed the ring cam and installed it behind the dresser. This time when my ghost meter goes off, I'll just check the cameras. I'm sleeping comfortable tonight. About 3 a.m. in the morning, my ghost meter goes off again. I got you this time. I went to check my camera and you wouldn't believe what I saw. Oh my God.
Just when we thought 2020 couldn't get any worse, now we have Asian murder hornets.
Deadly species of giant hornet has just been found in the U.S.
The murder hornet has a venomous sting that can kill a human.
They were spotted in Washington State. They have toxic stingers that can even penetrate a beekeeper's suit. The murder hornet is about 2 inches long and they prey on honeybees. One beekeeper said he found thousands of his bees' heads ripped off.
60,000 honeybees torn apart in a savage attack.
The Department of Agriculture said they don't usually fuck with humans. humans, and the public, you and me, can help trap the hornets. They said you can set up plastic bottles filled with orange juice and rice cooking wine. If I see one bee, I get nervous. Anything that can rip off 1,000 bees' heads in an hour, I'm not fucking with. Tim Lawrence, director of Washington State University, who had a run-in with the murder hornet, said the general public should avoid them at all costs. I think I'm gonna listen to Tim on this one. Welcome to Jumanji. Story time, part 3. Paranormal activity was going on in my house, so I installed a ghost meter. The ghost meter went off, and when I checked for activity, something or someone was in my guest bedroom. At 3 a.m. every morning, they rumbled through my drawers and even spelled haha with my socks. Apparently, this ghost thinks I'm a bitch. I couldn't catch him, so I installed a camera, and you wouldn't believe what I saw. This fool was junking up the room and jumping on the bed. He was having a good old time. So disrespectful. This time, when I busted in the room, I used the camera to guide me where the ghost was.
I know you here.
I kept swinging my bat, hoping I'd catch him, but the ghost was jumping it like it was hopscotch. Oh, I'ma get you. He hit me in the face with some clothes and I fell to the floor. By the time I unmasked my face and got back to my feet, I realized that the sound that I heard was the ghost hitting the floor and running out the door. And just like that, the ghost was gone. You'll be back, and I'll be waiting. In order to truly advance, we have to first focus on killing this self-hate. And no, I'm not going to lash out against my white friends and fans because all white people aren't racist. I've been marching with the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan since birth. From the Million Man March, stood by our sisters at the Million Woman March, and even spoke at the Million Family March. I give back thousands to the youth, my fans, and the homeless every year. How much of your check are you giving back? Founded Zeus, the first network with black-owned creators. I gave out over 100 jobs, not to mention the $1 million I lost in 2012 trying to start a network for people of color. When TikTok asked me to support the black youth, I showed up. Where were you? Supported every protest and even ran for a Ahmaud Arbery. Part of multiple charities giving back to our youth, even as far as Jamaica. I made plenty of videos on Facebook and YouTube that get millions of views discussing racial injustice. So if you get 10,000 views, do I get to come to you and tell you to make 1,000 more videos so you can reach the same amount of people? No, I don't, because you're doing your part. And though I applaud you for changing your profile pictures, don't knock me for changing people in real life. We have to stop the self-hate and picking apart each other's contributions. So for the black folks giving out seats at the table, who made you the host? And you're right, I wasn't with you shooting in the gym, because we're not even in the same arena.